Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Keb and today I'm here to film a book review slash book talk, and I call it book talk because I want to talk about every aspect of this book that I really loved, and this book is The Nightingale by Christine Hanna. And this book was in a lot of hype, and every person was reading this and writing blogs and making videos. Every single person was talking about this, and this book was selected as Goodread's best historical novel of the year. And I had this book on myself from a very long time, but I just kept my distance because it's a historical novel, and I am not a good reader of historical fictions because I find it difficult to read about the histories or the events that happened during the history. This was on my bookshelf feeling all dejected and alone, and I don't leave my books alone, so I picked this up and oh my god, this was so great, and I'm saying that why I did not pick it at first. And I just loved this book. I can say that this book has my heart, my soul and my mind, and I don't think any other book can replace its position because this has such a good story. It has a very deep and intense story and a very emotional one too, and it was not like I was bawling my eyes out or like a crying baby, but I was just feeling crying and my heart was crying and it was emotional. And I just feel like this story at not just at one point but at a very different points, and throughout this story it was very hard to carry on and read. There is a lot of cruel and brutality that you can't stop your tears because this was so deep. I don't want to spoil, but I can't help. I just want to talk about this story because that was so great, and I know that most of the people out there have not read it, and I just want every single person to read this because this is worth everyone's read. I will just warn you that this has spoilers, and if you really want to read this, go first to read it and then watch this video because if you are decided to read this and then you will know already about it, then you will not enjoy it that much. So I will just suggest you to read it first. This book was set up during World War II in France, and this talk about these two sisters, Vienna and Isabel. At a very young age, their father went to war, and when he come back, he was not the same person. War has completely changed him, and he just feel dejected toward his daughter and toward his family. And then their mother died, and his father completely left them alone. And then Vienna and Isabel went to other places. This incident have a different impact on both the girls, and Vienna just accepted the situation and carried on with her life, while Isabel did not accept it, and she come back to home to live with his father. But her father did not want any of the girls, and that's why he just did not accept her. And Isabel just run away from schools to be with her father, and that's why she was rusticated from different schools. Vienna get married and had a daughter named Sophie. Both the sisters have a very different personality and they are quite opposite to each other. Vienna was very calm and simple woman, while Isabel was very rebellious and courageous, and she just did not accept the situations very easily. And then war was declared. France was invaded by Germans, and there was all over the Nazi party, and the Jews were tortured and were killed. Isabel decided to fight the war, and Vienna's husband was sent to war, and she has to live with her daughter, and she has to fight the war for her survival. And there is a lot of things just going on, like torture toward Jews, the food shortage, people were forced to be apart from their children because they were Jews, and it was so depressing the way they treated like animals, and they made it living hell. And both the sisters were living and just fighting wars. One was fighting for the country and to save the people, and she just helped so many people to just cross the borders and airmen to deport them to their country. The way Isabel take airmen to deport to their country through mountains was very risky, and it just give you a very chilling experience, while Vienna was always afraid and did not want to interfere in the war. And but for her daughter and for the other children, she just to participate in the war. Vienna did not want to interfere in the war, but when she find out that there is a lot of torture and brutality, she decided to fight for those children. And once she got the chance to save her daughter, sister, and her best friend's son. She did not thought about her life. And this has a very beautiful content of parentage love, that they can go to any extent to save their children and to make any sacrifice for their children, as Vienna and her father did. This book has a lot of incidents that can make you cry, especially the relationship between Vienna and Isabel. And they were so close, but war has made them go so far from each other. And the last scene of this story has a very heartbreaking. This was a very emotional book for me. I have read emotional books too, but this was on the top of it because this has such a great story. And my favorite characters are obviously Isabel and Vienna, but I like that Nazi soldier back too, because he too did not like the war and he want to go back to his family, and his absence just really leave a void for me, because at every point I was just thinking that what he will do at that point. And this book has a very clear message that whenever we talk about the war, we always talk about men and their sacrifices, and we never talk about women's. As I can remember that my teacher says that heroes, we always talk about the heroes. Why not heroes? Because she also made the sacrifices. She also fight the war for their children, for their survival. So there is a lot of point that can make your heart stop in this book, because this was so great. And I bet you that whoever will pick this book will never get disappointed, because this is such an amazing book. And this is my favorite books of this year, because I have not read anything like this, and this is a single piece that I just loved it. Christine Hanna has done such a tremendous job of writing this book, because there is a lot of incident that we know, but we can't believe that these things have happened, but it was all real. And all these things were happened, and all the people that suffer from this cruelty, and it was also real. And that's why you will just feel connected, and you will live the whole story, and it was so great. So I will just highly recommend this book to everyone, every single person. I want everyone to read this book, because this is such a great one. And I can say that if you have not read this book yet, I will say that you have done a crime, and you should repay for this, because you have to read this. I did not find any single point to just hate this book or any negative points. I have everything positive, because I like this one so much, and I hope that you will find it that much interesting as I have find it. So just go read it, guys. So that's it for today, guys. Hope you have liked it, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.